G'day guys, Joel, mate, Big J here. Welcome to another episode of Aussie Boxing Talk. And today we've actually got some positives, but let's start with the negatives. I always like to start with the bullshit and finish with the positive. Now, there are reports that there is a trans athlete in the Paris Olympics. As if the fucking Olympics can't get any bloody worse after that friggin' bullshit opening ceremony with Papa Smurf with his fat guts out, old mate with his balls hanging out. Now they've got fucking blokes pretending to be women in boxing. What the fuck is the world coming to? Have we not learned anything from when Fallon Fox competed in MMA and broke a woman's skull? For those who don't know who Fallon Fox was, I think it was in 2016, somewhere around there. Look, to start the story, Fallon Fox was born male, was male until he was 32, and even served time in the USA Navy. So he's spent time in the armed forces in America. All right. 32, decided to transition into a woman. I don't know how old he was when he started fighting, probably about 34 or so. And MMA, and just broke one girl's skull. Like literally broke her skull. Right? So what the fuck? What is this world doing to our women? All right. They say that women have safe spaces and all this sort of shit. No, they fucking don't. All a bloke has to do these days is grow his hair out a little bit, or not even that, chuck a dress on, put on some fucking dollar makeup that, you get down from a fucking Target store, put some lipstick on, put a wig on, have a full beard, put a dress on, some high heels and waltz into a lady's bathroom and say, I identify as female. Yeah, well, mate, I identify as someone with common sense, and if I see anyone doing that, it's going to be a bad day for you. All right? So, why, there's already another Chinese fighter that was banned from, I think, the 2023 World Games because of all the testosterone in her system. She's allowed to fight. And now this Algerian fighter, whose name, I think it's Amin Khalif, I think, right, is actually going to fight in the middleweight division, right? They're having their first fight today. Right, because there was another video, I think of this person, might have been someone else, another trans person beating up a Mexican woman. It wasn't at the Olympics, it was like another event about 2 years ago. Okay, so unless you see, right, Paris 2024 on the canvas, it's not from the Olympic Games. So any footage you see concerning amateur boxing, right, and you don't see Paris 2024 on the canvas, it's not the Olympic Games, because there are videos floating around there saying this bloke beat the shit out of this poor woman. It wasn't at the Olympics. It's predated. Okay, so just make sure you keep that in mind. If it doesn't say Paris 2024 on the canvas, and the red corner doesn't, in the women's, they have to wear head guard. They have to wear head guard, singlet, gloves, trunks, shoes, all the same color. So you got a red corner and you got a blue corner. There was a video floating around of whoever it was, and both opponents had yellow headgear and yellow gloves. It's not how the Olympics works. So that footage is not of the Olympics. So if it hasn't got Paris 2024 on the canvas, which I think is a lavender color, right, it's not from the Olympics. Now, so this is a fucking disgrace. Why people are allowed to put up with this? As I said, I called for a complete boycott of the Olympics. The Australian team should have got on a plane and fucked off back home. And now the Australian boxers, the female boxers, particularly Caitlin Parker, who won her first round, she's now progressed to the second round. If this Khalif person, right, comes up against, because I read the article in the Sydney Morning Herald, this Khalif person wins their fight today or tonight, they're going to run straight into Caitlin Parker in the middleweight division in the next round. So you're going to have an Aussie girl, a captain of our Australian Olympic boxing team, fighting some fucking bloke who's too piss weak to fight the males and wants to be a woman. What a fucking disgrace. What an absolute disgrace. As I said, everyone involved in the Olympics should be a fucking shame of themselves, and they should just shut it down and say, nah, we fucked this up, right? We'll try again in 4 years, and hopefully LA, and that's not going to be too much better because they're all fucking, they're the bloody kings of wokeness. Those wankers over in fucking LA, Hollywood fucking dickheads. So Those motherfuckers literally do not know Arthur from Martha. So, yeah, I don't think bloody the Olympics is going to be any better in 2028 in Los Angeles unless Trump gets in, which we're all pray he does, and just recalibrates the entire country. Excuse me. But on to more positive things. So the Olympics, the boxing, we're actually doing well. We've got 2 more got through. 2 more fighters got through, as I said before. Caitlin Parker, the middleweight female competitor, the captain of the team, has progressed. She is now through to the quarterfinals of the tournament. Another fighter won last night. I believe his name is Charlie. What is the young fella's name? Charlie Senior. Won a unanimous decision, a split decision 4-1 against a Bulgarian. Let me just make sure he is a Bulgarian. Yes, no, Belgium fighter by the name of Velasi Turo. I think that's his name. Now, the Belgian people have not had a boxer at the Olympics since 1992. 1992, that is 8 Olympics ago. That's 32 years ago. I was 10 when that happened. Holy shit, that is a long time. The crowd was behind it. I actually sat up last night and watched it. Senior was all over him. He was footwork, he was countering, being a bit of a show pony. Now in the Olympics, you've only got 3 rounds. You don't need to play to the crowd, mate. You're not a professional. You don't need to play the crowd because you've got to play to the judges. The judges decide who wins the fight. And I would be making sure that every punch counted and that I'd be making sure that the judges knew it. Not floating around showboating to the crowd. All right? That steak sandwich is not sitting right. So I wouldn't be worried about doing that. Win the fight. Right? So Tumora is in the super heavyweights. He's actually going to run to the world champion next fight. So if he beats him, he's pretty much going to get the gold, I believe. There's Caitlin Parker. Hopefully doesn't run into this person. And then Charlie Senior in the featherweight division. I'm not quite sure who's he going to fight next. What do we got up tonight? So tonight at 7:32, we've got a young lady by the name of Monique Cerasi in the women's flyweight division. She'll be taking on a Colombian girl by the name of Ingrid Valencia. I hope I pronounced that correctly. And I think there might be one other on tonight in the middle of the bloody night. Yep. In the women's welterweight, we've got a Marissa Williamson versus a Hungarian fighter by the name of Lucia Anna Hamani, sorry. So 2 more fights tonight, right? And then we've got 1 more on Friday. We've got, in the women's featherweight, we've got Tina Rami versus a Polish fighter by the name of Julia Zemeta, correction. So that'll be all 12 competitors. So we've had 9 fight, 3 have gotten through, 6 are bowed out. Well, they're not going home. They've still got to sit around for the next couple of weeks. So for the Australian boxing at the moment, everything is looking things are looking a lot better than what they were 24 hours ago. 24 hours ago, you had all but 1. You had 6 compete and 5 lose. So it was more like, well, you might as well just pack up and come home. But the Australians have turned it around a bit. Now we've got 3 more progressing to the next round. And who knows? It might be our most successful team ever. I don't want to jinx it. I hope that they all win. Because we've never won a gold. And a woman has never placed anywhere in the Olympics. I'm not quite sure how well Sky Nicholson did. I think she got to the quarterfinals. Last in Tokyo, I think she might have got to the semis just before it was. I think it was the fight to get into the medal contention. So she bowed out just before then. Of course, excuse me. As we know, Gary. Well, I keep on calling him Gary Harsite. It's Harry Garsite. As we all know, he got the bronze last time in Tokyo. So things are looking pretty good for the Olympics, but as I said, I haven't watched any of it. There's been a lot of controversies about the Olympics, but every Olympics has its controversies. It's not an Olympics without controversy, but the controversies that are happening this time shouldn't be happening. All right. These transgender athletes, this needs to be stopped. Everyone, we need to start standing up for our women. And why is no one protecting our women? This is what really angers me, right? We've got all these women. Women are doing things that they never thought that they had to, right? 60 years ago, you'd never see a woman in a boxing ring. 30 years ago, you'd never see a woman. 20 years ago, you wouldn't have seen a woman in a boxing ring, right? All right. Now, whether it's a good or a bad thing, I'll leave that to your judgment, right? My opinion doesn't matter, what I think about it, but, 20, 30 years ago, women never would have been thought of competing at the Olympic level in boxing. 10 years ago, we never would have had skateboarding. Why the fuck do we have skateboarding? How the fuck is breakdancing is an Olympic sport now? What the fuck? So you got a bunch of friggin' dickheads that spin around on their heads and think that's an Olympic sport? Fuck off. Jeez. I saw BMX the other day. Like, how is BMX a fucking Olympic sport? Surfing's now an Olympic sport. It's a friggin' joke. Next thing you know, they're going to make chess an Olympic sport. But anyway, that's enough of a rant today. So the Olympic team is looking good. We've got 3 progressing to the next round. I'll keep you updated. We'll see what's going on for tonight. I think the 2 competitors I said they're on tonight, and I'll bring you another update in the morning. Big J out. Like and subscribe.